My friends, this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Welcome to the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Lush Lawn, and there is a lot to it this morning, so let's go. Freezing rain is going to be a pretty strong possibility, up to a half inch in we'll call it the central part of Lower Michigan and the north central part of Lower Michigan. Sleet will be a problem also, and then snow eventually in the UP. And for most of you listening from the southern half of Lower Michigan, not a lot of winter problems with the storm system, but let's get on into it. Hey, good morning, Macomb, Michigan, and good morning, Edmore. Thanks for joining us this morning on the MLive Morning Weather Update. So, winter storm watch in effect from 7 p.m. tonight to into midnight on Wednesday, late Tuesday night, we'll call it. Hey, good morning, Edmore. And so that is for the freezing rain area and the heavy sleet area. And then the purple counties, that's a winter weather advisory for freezing rain. And it goes from Saginaw, Mount Pleasant, Gratiot County, northward to the winter storm watch. Western part of the UP under a winter weather advisory, but soon to be under a winter storm warning, I would say. All right, so let's take a look at the radar forecast and show you when all of this mess is going to start. And so we have no problems today, really. This is noon today. And 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7. So really no issues through dark. We're at 9 o'clock, 10, 11. Now, I want to explain to you on this map, the green obviously is rain. The purple, I would call it, is freezing rain. The salmon color, I think it would be, is sleet, and then of course the blue is snow. So toward midnight we'll start to have some freezing rain develop. Traverse City, Cadillac, Houghton Lake, Mount Pleasant, Saginaw possibly, Bay City more likely, maybe the cold spots in Tuscola County. 3 in the morning, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, another batch of freezing rain coming across all of the Traverse City area, all of Cadillac, Manistee, Benzie area, Big Rapids, not Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids stays probably almost all rain in this, we're thinking right now. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, West Branch and Gladwin and Standish, Augrey, Tawas, Alpena, Harrisville, Oscoda, you are into the freezing rain. And that rain to freezing rain line comes across Saginaw County and starts to surge a little bit north. But that's the problem, is that the freezing rain line does not look like it's going to move much once it sets up. Once it sets up, it looks like on Tuesday it might shift maybe 20 miles north during the day in the warmth of the day. That would take it out of some of Saginaw County and push it up into Bay County. So point being is, if you're traveling from the south tomorrow to the north, fine through Flint, fine towards Saginaw. At some point on I-75, it won't be fine. It might be Bay County. It might be Gladwin County. It probably will definitely be before you get to West Branch. So be careful there. And if you're traveling north tomorrow, I probably would think about not traveling north, and especially not tonight too. All right, let's see how far we get on this model, and that's it. So then we go to my next favorite model that takes us out a little bit farther, and it shows you the same scenario. This is this afternoon, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7. So again, you're A-okay. We're dry actually this afternoon and early this evening, and then this one model brings it in around midnight. It starts a freezing rain. And it has the sleet at Traverse City and Leelanau County, larger area of sleet. And then by 5 in the morning, it's got the freezing rain. Can you see that? How Saginaw County might be the dividing line? Birch Run, Frankenmuth, Clio, and Genesee County may be okay. northwest corner of Saginaw, Freeland, Auburn, might be in the freezing rain on this one. Tuesday afternoon, or this is 10:11 noon, and that's where the line tries to shift out of Saginaw County and maybe just into Bay and Midland County, but there, all through the day, there is a zone where it will not change over to rain. That's, the telltale sign of something that can accumulate when you don't, in the heat of the day, warm up enough to freeze it, to melt it off. And that zone to me looks like it's Mount Pleasant, Isabella County, up to Cadillac, up to the Traverse City area, over through Houghton Lake, over through West Branch, Gladwin, and whatnot. And again, in the south, not a problem. I, Mark, need to head to downtown Detroit from Saginaw Township tomorrow early afternoon. Should we be okay? Well, soon as you get south of that freezing rain line, and it may take, Saginaw Township could be icy. And then once you get on 75, you get to Genesee County, you're probably going to be okay, somewhere between Saginaw and Genesee County line is the way it looks right now. All right, let's pick this up. We're into Tuesday afternoon. We're at 5 o'clock, and it's still trying to freezing rain around Bay County and Aranac County. And then we go into Tuesday night, and it turns colder. Everything changes over to snow by midnight Wednesday, and then this is 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. The snow is winding down, and it's done in most places by noon or so. All right, how much freezing rain? So this map, I think, really tells you the tale of where the ice will accumulate. Probably not Grand Rapids, maybe 100th or 200ths. Probably not Lansing, definitely not Kalamazoo, not Ann Arbor, not Detroit, not Flint. Saginaw, you're on the dividing line between, a few hundredths to a tenth in the northwest part of the county to maybe 2/10 as you get toward Midland and northern Bay County. And then the strip where, I would call it an ice storm, probably. In fact, their official, I think, accumulation value on ice storm is a 1/2 inch. And that's looking like it's through Clare, Mount Pleasant, Gladwin, West Branch, Harrisville, and then extending back to the west through the Cadillac area, south of Cadillac, Tustin, and over toward Manistee and Ludington, Irons in there, and Wellston. And that's probably 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. So that's not something that brings a lot of trees down, but it does bring a dead branch down on a power line here and there and produce some power outages. And then as you get to Traverse City, you're probably looking at a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch of freezing rain and an inch or two of sleet. So it will be kind of a messy situation there. Now, what about snow? Jackson, no problem in Jackson. You should be mostly all rain until late Tuesday night when you change over to some flurries. Muskegon, you're probably going to have some light freezing rain accumulations, probably a few hundredths to maybe as much as a 1/10 of an inch, and then change over to maybe an inch or two of snow. So it's going to be a really cruddy type storm in Muskegon. Here's the total snowfall. Okay. Here is the total snowfall. And the UP, 6 to 12 inches, Marquette westward, Keweenaw Peninsula, over a foot. 3 to 6 in the tip of the mid around Mackinac and Petoskey. Someone asking about Petoskey and Rogers City. And then tapering down on snowfall, 1 to 3 inches, Traverse City northward to Gaylord. That's because you'll get some sleet in there and it really compacts things. Alma, you probably will have some freezing rain toward morning and then probably warm up a little bit during the day tomorrow to 35 or so. All right, let's look at a couple other things here. Let's see here. Bear with me. I thought I had it set for you. Okay, let's look at this. temperatures. And this should give you a real good feel for that dividing line. Remember, we're saying Grand Rapids, probably not much problems unless something changes and the cold air can get in, or we're probably thinking it won't because everything's been very consistent. Flint, we're talking no problems for the most part, all rain, and then eventually maybe a few snow showers in Ann Arbor and Detroit. But that dividing line is going to be is where the roads will change quickly, and you need to know that you're driving into it if you're heading north. So that's what we're going to look at right now, are the hour by hour temperatures. Today, it's kind of already setting up that, that freezing line is running through Saginaw County, running through Gratiot, Clinton County, running through Kent County too. And then let's go to tomorrow morning, and you could see how in Saginaw County, 35 down to 32, 31 in Mount Pleasant and Clare, and that line just kind of hangs there as the southeast warms up into the low 40s. So Flint, you could be 43-ish, Saginaw could be 35-ish, and Bay City could be 32, and Midland could be 32. Heart of the day, we might have a little help for an hour or two, and certainly if they salt the highways, it would work great at 30, 32 degrees. And then Tuesday evening, that freezing line comes back to the south, and then the cold air moves in, and we change over to all snow. So, hey, one last thing. I want to search for spring with you, okay? I got to say that the next 10 days do not look springy, but we're going to look at the European model out 10 days and see that a break might be coming. And let's see, here it is, okay? So pick out Florida and Texas, and you can see those because there's not a lot of lines, a lot of congestion around them right now. And then look northward and find Michigan. Here's our storm system coming across. It's a big old blob. By the way, the south half, you're probably looking at about a half-inch of rain on this. Probably not as heavy as that last rain that we had, was 1 to 2 inches. And Friday, we have a snow coming across lower Michigan. At the moment, it looks like a 2 to 4 incher. And we get an Arctic front on the weekend. Sound familiar? We're in a very regular pattern, and we're fully entrenched into the cold air still into March 1st. Now we're getting into March 2nd, the end of the run, and you can see the warmth building to the west. Not to say that it would be permanent, but that will be our next time when we start to get into the 40s. And at that time of the year, we could see some 50s, and maybe it would last for a couple of days. Let me get you one thing here. Just bear with me a second. Last thing for you. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. Trying to sort out this storm system for you. What's the temp in Muskegon, Michigan today? Should probably be around, I'm going to say around 40 degrees or so. Here's the highs today. Tomorrow, now this is off the European. It might be a little too warm in the south. And then we got 20s for highs on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Uh-oh, we're done. So hold on. Here she is. Here she is. Here they both are. President's Day. Hey, don't run my... Oh boy, here we go. Hey folks, that means it's time for breakfast. We're having omelets this morning. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me. I will keep you updated. Bye. But done for now, for sure.